So, that is, unless it's to protect lives. Not even if one day he uses it. The dead are not the enemy. It's about finding yourself dead. You must definitely consider this issue. A moment later, he sighed. Slowly sit down and continue practicing. I suddenly remembered the baby's egg. He decided to take it out. And this deep mountain forest. I trained for more than a month. This egg is in the spirit world. Based on the barbarian's pre-birth spirit. To temporarily sustain life. But it's just maintenance. If you want to expand, then it must completely restore its vital force. Normal pharmaceutical, it basically doesn't work for it. Only genius geologists can help the dead. The new life is able to help it bloom. It's just a big sky. Where do I go to find these medicinal herbs? I think it's most likely that you suddenly frown. Think for a moment. But right now, there was a loud scream coming to the ear. Eject Jade, if you know what, bring the knife here. If we don't have a knife, don't blame us for being unscrupulous. Most likely, the color of the face in the blink of an eye becomes muted. Someone harassed me to practice. Think and lift your feet to the place where the sound comes from. Through the grass he finally saw the man. There's a carriage there. The same male, a beautiful female general. There are 6 national scenes. In front of them, there are 5 gas stations. The leader has a 6th floor scene. At this moment a man and a woman looked at the old man. Bite your teeth, yeah. Don't you dare. Our master's training is a secret. Not transmitted outside. We've got to bring it to the 100 clans. I can give it to you. I am most likely to hear this word with my mouth shut. But here we practice. You can wait for someone to give you the news. Knitting exercise 10 is not bad. 100 for the 100 founding fathers. The man across the street saw them. In the eyes of desire. Laugh out loud, ha ha ha. Song and Gok Song Thin. 2 of you are this age and you're in the middle. I'm not too ashamed of this medicine. Or so. Not to mention 3 families like you. Director occupies the secret of the 4 products of knitting medicine. What a waste of heaven. Be good and deliver it out here. If we die, we will not deliver. The girl saw him humiliating you a cold. 1 hour. 2 people immediately attack the front. No matter their strength. He was beaten out by the chief. Lying on the ground. That her clothes are now not intact. It shows a piece of flesh. The old man's eyes were full of sexual desire. Look towards the castration, laughed he. Castration of the lady. You have to be like that. It's okay to be obedient to the Secret Service and to knit pharmacists. Could it have made this old man? There are 6 controls on you. The castration was stared at by him. In my eyes, I look angry. 2 red eyes looked at him. Then she went to see the young man. Do you have any sow? Tuan Ngok shook his head. In his eyes, he answered firmly, no. Then we die together. Even the death of the family can't fall into the hands of this old bastard. Okay. End the castration. The best soldiers in your hands. They put it on their necks. I want to die under this small knife. See this situation. Probably most people can't help but remember, for the first time to meet a billion ordinary. You're all like that. Without a care of life, protecting the family's heirlooms. But in his eyes, these things are not worth living. So what they're doing is stupid. I think it is most likely that he shook his head. Take out a leaf. Remain in force into the leaves, immediately eject. Towards the knife on the neck of the castration gear. A sound of the sword immediately fell. The old man and the others can see it. Immediately alert, shout AI. At this point, I'm probably walking slowly out of the forest. Speak up casually. It's just a little quartet. You have to be so desperate for your life. The old man saw that the man who came was just a scene. The most important thing is not to laugh, said with contemptuous lips. I thought someone was so brave. Ra is just a boy. My mouth smells of milk. You are Matu, right? When it comes to evil, you are the worst. I'm running to talk to you kindly. Most people don't even notice a cold smile. Let's just say we don't talk benevolently. We talk about power. If I want them alive, you can't kill them. The old man saw that he immediately laughed coldly. In the eyes, close. Based on you. God saw the old man's head. Fear will immediately affect the person in front of you. Forward speaking. Brother, run away. You are not his opponent. Please don't give up your life for our brothers. The old man laughed for an hour. I can't escape anymore. Kid, if you want to blame them for worrying. Finished talking, the old man immediately attacked the most evil. But he didn't notice that he was standing there. Until one moment the old man came before his eyes. Just gently raise your hand. A rosy path of monasticism. Then the old man fell into a pool of blood. You can't see it anywhere. When people see this situation, they are immediately shocked. They just saw it clearly. Probably not even one. The old man's head was smashed. Here's a plot. It is so easy to be beaten to death. I don't know if AI is shaking big monster. Aha, then ran away. Most people don't want to chase you. Turn back what you want to leave. The Lord saw that and hurriedly called out, wait. The most certain thing is that there's no emotion. I looked at the person in front of me with red eyes. Not self-conscious. Keep your head down. I don't know what your brother's name is. Please save your life today. We will definitely repay the debt. I'm sure most people don't notice what she says. Coldly, no need. Then he turned and left. I can see your attitude. She is not lightly angry. She's in the family. She is also considered a famous beauty. From the past to the present, the man who saw her. Without the soul wandering. But right now, the person in front of me sees you as air. Makes you a little suspicious. About your own charm. Holding an angry belly. She is not willing to run. determined to block his path. Most likely I saw her get in the way. Temporarily impatient. What else is on the face? The sky sees. His attitude in his heart murmured for an hour. But there's a charming smile in her mouth. Where does this little brother want to go? Probably not even a glance at her. It was cold for an hour, and then left. It has nothing to do with you. Castration did not stop him from helplessly screaming. We want to go to the dance. Participate in the Batch Dawn Festival. I don't know if there's fraternal diabetes. I heard her talk about dancing as a step. Probably stop immediately. Slowly twirling his eyebrows. Ho Vu City. The 7 kingdoms of the 5 kingdoms, right? At this point the Jade has come to the front. Nod your head. That's right. Batch Dawn Festival organized by Ho Long Dance 15 times. They are a family with the skill of knitting cowmen. Or a family that has the secret to practicing heirlooms. We'll go to the high and low. If you are lucky enough to dance for a long time, they will be accepted as dependents. Receive the protection of the 7 kingdoms. Hear this word. Probably the best way to think a little. If it's the 100 Dawn Festival, we'll surely gather rare medicine? Can look for geologic genius. To recover for the Kier egg. More, if you want to join the 7 kingdoms. He should have gone with these 2. If you think about it, the corners of your mouth will probably go up. Look at the 2 people talking. Listen to what you to say. I would also like to see a little bit of snow. Castration heard him say that. Immediately rejoicing, the whole sutra cried out. That's good. Or let's go. Most likely laughing and nodding. Even though Sao Wai must penetrate the power of the 7 world. Take advantage of them, give them a position to enter. Not bad either. The 105 most likely people. 2 billion Song Dynasty, after agreeing to cooperate with Ho Vu City. Immediately on the way. Before that, the 2 billion Song family disciples also wondered about his identity. But with the current situation, he also can't shine. Use my name. That's why he's always hiding. I laughed except for the fake name. It's been about half a month. 3 people's carriage finally stopped in front of a gate. City. Eject in front of the reins. Laughing and talking, echoing inside the trillions. Here we are. The most likely thing to hear inside has arrived. Jump off the wagon immediately. You don't have to suffer anymore. But, when he looked at the sign hanging on the city gate, immediately frowned hateful anger. This is a wild cat, you dare to joke with me. This city does not belong to the scope of the 7 kingdoms. It belongs to the Vi domain of Emperor 7. I felt angry and laughed and explained. Ha ha ha, brother, don't worry. Inside Land Mausoleum. We're going to buy some precious medicine. Then go to Batch Dawn Festival. I have won many opportunities to be favored by Ho Long Dance. Most likely he looked at the steady eyes of the Lord, grudgingly shaking his head, silently for an hour. He continues to be guilty, on this bumpy carriage. Not yet. There are also women who love boys like Song Castration sitting with them. They really suffer a lot. I don't know what kind of disease I have that I love. I have never met such a person before. Sitting next to him is always a smiling face. If you want to practice, you don't come in. Right now. Castration reached the car curtain from the car step. Out of the air, I saw the disgust on the face of the most ordinary. Aggressive glance at him, one with me very upset Sao. Most likely, he shrugged his shoulders and refused to comment. If you don't want to take advantage of them, to enter the batch dawn flourishing, why? It's a long time to suffer like that. Smiling out loud for an hour, towards the surest of the world revealed a smile that said, brother, I know your heart. I'm just like you. I also want to go to the park immediately. It is said that there are 15 owners. She is as beautiful as a fairy. And then the owner becomes a lady. The more the National Book of Paradise. She was called the first dancer. I can look at you, and death is worth it. She is also considered a beauty. But a man can do it for a tree. Give up the forest. She is not a traitor either. I can't help but be a little ecstatic. It seems in the head, to reveal the beautiful body image of the city. But wait until he gets his spirit back. The barber looked at him. Jewel, what do you say? You say it again. I dare not commit again. Probably look at both of you. I decided to stay away a little later. These 2 billion people are a crazy couple. I love a boy and I love a girl. If you are in constant contact, maybe he'll make these 2 billion people go crazy. You have to hide somewhere else quickly. We can't let them infect us. Suddenly right now, an astonishing sound reached 3 people. Castration knee. The 2 billion Song family members heard the sound and trembled. Be careful back there. See people coming. I can't help but hear a sound of bad luck. God hides his emotions inside. On his face quickly appeared a little embarrassed nod. Heavenly bug ca. The jade looks at this person, and then come back to the most meticulous. He is Keithinson. Lan Lang became the first family without family. My husband and I are too busy. They are a second-rate family. We are only 3. That's why they despise us. Keithinson is enchanted every time I see her. I'm sure you heard a little bit of a deep shock. Take a look at 2 billion of them for a moment. Can't help but sigh. The land and the land are the same. It's just a lost family with their backs. So there's no need to pay attention to other people's faces. But the Song family was not so lucky. They're all family 3. Every action must always depend on the family. Ki Xiu is here, are caressing and castration. Suddenly look at the other side. When a stranger appears, he opens his mouth. God, who is he? Castration of an indignant a form of fear silently trembling. Reveal a charming smile talking brother. He is our friend, yes. Sorry you didn't know we were here today. I received a letter from Uncle Song. You should guess the time. Arbitrarily answer castration. Then he turned. Most likely, change your attitude coldly and say yes. What is your relationship with God? I was in a hurry to explain that to you. He is my friend. Keithinson pushed the jade far away. He interrupted the old man not to ask you. then look back again. Probably the most cruel thing to say. What do you have to do with the devil? Most likely I heard him point his face. In my heart without contempt. His eyes widened slightly to the person in front of him. Said with an evil smile. Along this road we eat together. We slept together until we got out of the wagon. Guess what we have to do? When I heard that, I immediately startled with fear. Keithinson is very angry, and he said this is provoking him to pour more fuel on the fire. Something will definitely happen. Of course, after the worst of all. Keithin Bug was angry and shouted loudly. A chef's beat towards animals that deserve to die. The Lord will let you die here today. But most likely, it doesn't move. Calm down and stay in place. As soon as he came in front of me. Probably the most oppressive atmosphere of monastics is very close. Winking through people's brains. Numbness Bug felt immediately sweating. Cowering people afraid of falling on the ground. Most likely, it is not out of contempt. You are so cool that you want to be painted. The dead man butchered you. Bug sitting on the ground. I can still feel the strong air from before. The basic idea is the idea of killing you. The god of this man is fearfully strong. Thinking of it, Keithin's sin trembled and stuttered. You. Are you? Is the divine vision of the master? Except 106 Hongman Canary. At this moment, the 2 billion Song disciples were immediately horrified. Before, he was in the forest. They also know that they are strong. So, but Ki Tianxiu is also a part of the Gao master scene. One finger is not moving. They scared everyone to the point of not moving. At this time, 2 billion people. Relatively aware of the power of Y. In a panic. Suddenly at this moment a rustling sound of the wind. An old man appeared in front of Ki Tianxiu. I saw him shivering on the ground. Some people are angry at me for a while. What are you doing? What happened? Who does it? 2 billion Song family disciples saw people coming in fear. Shaking my father's voice, I'm sorry. This is all because of you, Ra. Don't he blame others. People who hear that raise their heads. Discovered in her words. There's a stranger here. Keep your eyes on the front. Immediately change the color of the face. Laughing, ha ha ha, that's it? I wonder what this ugly boy is. Early in the morning, what did you do at the gate? Turns out there's a visitor. Misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. Let's go home to my uncle. You guys worked so hard to get to the city. She must be the owner. Just welcome carefully. He was not afraid to carry the devil on his shoulders. Take the oil in front of the road. He looks like such an easygoing senior. But I don't know if it's intentional or intentional. Before leaving, he often glanced at the worst. Probably the most. I quickly noticed the other person's unusual behavior. Silently on guard. Please be suspicious of telling to rates of peanuts. Who says your family despises you? 2 billion people are fooling me. Castration can't help but be a little confusing. It's hard to pout. He's the head of the regular, impotent Qi family. It's never been easy for us. But what's wrong today? It's like turning into someone else. Qi Jiangshu is his only son. He values him more than anything. The people next to me also couldn't help but agree. That's right, this happened to his son today, and it's over. Absolutely no search. There must be a devil in this. Most likely a cold laugh, a murmur, that's right. They claim there is a devil. He looked at Qi as he went further and further away. They left them a distance. Hurry up and tell me what the hell is going on. Maybe he's in a good mood today. Don't guess anymore. Fortunately, he is not measured, or we might not have been able to take it. I think you should laugh for an hour. His face filled with contempt just relying on him. Now, let's not talk about the top scene. Even today, the sky can't do anything about him. Since there's great power in people. He always had the confident look of the emperor before Kier. But, caution and throwing jade does not think so. They don't know their true power. Shake your head a few times. Step forward quickly. Back to the family of 3. They were housed in a small hospital. When there is no one, maybe the world can finally practice peacefully. A moment later, the strongest door in the world suddenly opened. He slowly emerged from the state of cultivation. Open your eyes to 2. The Chinese are coming. 2 billion at the moment. You can't hide the panic. I dare not face his eyes. Calm down, open your mouth immediately. The owner of the house has prepared a wine party. I want guests from far away to eat. Please come with me. Most likely stare at them for a moment. Still sitting flat on the bed. Definitely say, he invited you to, I don't know him. Tai Wai refused. Exorcism in the heart of the urgent show of fear. If you can't stop talking, you will feel yourself 7. Immediately explain not to. Don't get me wrong, even though this place is also key. The castration next to it also nods the auxiliary right. That's right. The host invited us not to go. It's not that I don't respect my eyes. Probably laughing for an hour. This little psychic of theirs also wants to get past him. So naive. I think it is best to stand up slowly. That's what I mean. Then let's go. The owner invited him, even if it was a red moon, Yen had to go. 2 billion Song family disciples heard him mention the Hongmen bird. Immediately stunned. Maybe he really knew something. You to look at each other. Eyes full of unwillingness. Most likely, the people in front see them not moving. The footsteps didn't stop. Speak up, urge. What are you doing there? Go ahead and lead the way. Very quickly 3 people came to the hall of Qi family. There were a lot of people on the table soon. They're all painted. But in the position of the owner. He sat there with a smile on his face. The rest are high-level tricks sitting around. Inside corner BA empty position. Obviously for them. He turned his eyes toward the door. I looked at the 3 people who were coming up with fake smiles. You guys are here, sit down. Most likely, look at this situation. Can't help but glance contemptuously. Pretend you don't know how to fake. To be so revealing again. People of this size also want to set a trap. I don't know how stupid it is. It's not Sao either. It's just a bunch of scenes. It also doesn't affect why. He thought and slowly walked towards the round table. Choose a sitting position. The smile on my face never ceases to show. To see this scene. The old men in front of me looked at each other. Not as if understanding. To smile. I looked at the three people sitting down. He picked up the cup of wine and said, "My brother's name is lost. I've heard them mention you along the way. Fortunately you take care of it so they can get here safely. Let us have the same reason for the old man to respect you." He put the glass of wine in his mouth and drank it. Probably face to face with him. Mouth sticking up. Air passenger landing. Alcohol is poisonous. I haven't drunk in years. I advise the owner to drink less. To avoid working overtime. Who shouldn't be poking? The family drowned in destruction. The words just finished, everyone's eyes were turned towards him. The calendar also looks at Y. Wrong hand squeezed, trying to take a deep breath. Calm down and look at what you mean. Most likely, he is still pretending. Don't mind tearing this veil down again. The glass of wine immediately fell down. There's no more wine in the glass. With a smile, you don't have to pretend anymore. You must have known who I was. Otherwise, you will not show the big picture. Waiting for me to come in. Spirit level for batch fairy knit pharmacy. It's made from the venom of a poisonous chain. I didn't say wrong. But this game you played too carelessly. Dare to boast again, Sao. I see it was like that. I know I can't hide anymore. Decided to turn around. Very quickly change attitude. In the eyes of the most intense. You are guilty of Yumin Cup. The owner of the cup ordered Yumin to pursue you. Now the whole empire is relentlessly killing you. You have come here now. Then let me bring your head. Yumin Cup received the award. Stop talking to everyone around you. All the elders heard the order to strike. Words just came out. 7 pieces high trick scene simultaneously take action. Attack on the strongest side. It's so fast. The Vitrias are so fast. He didn't even notice the cold smile. Sound an hour. The surrounding table and chairs were smashed by the wind chief. The smoke is flying. But when the dust melts away, everybody's heading in that direction. I can't see the body of the person there. Wide open to eyes amazingly. Suddenly now, there was a deep laughter above them. Lo, we are here. At the same time, his hand was resting on the head of an elder. Using a strong squeeze, the Kier spat out a sip of blood. Death without closing eyes. 107 hits. Slowly, the strongest hand is waving. Wipe away the blood. Smiling for an hour. Towards the Kier people. Everyone is in the same business. I can't believe my eyes look at you. Even in dreams they don't think. The person in front of you can do so much harm. Obviously, he only has the power, the most important part here. There are 9 high-level tricks. But nothing can be done. He stared in horror as he bit his teeth. See, the rumors are all true. Of course you are a monster. I don't blame even the 7 elders of Yumin. Died at your hands. I can't help but laugh for an hour. Most likely, look at him. If you knew the benefits of the old man. So you still dare to touch me. Even CA human cup cannot do anything to me. Maybe you can be sure. The pursuit of wealth is even more dangerous. The greater the reward. He bite his teeth. Full force transport, frantically rushing towards the most evil. Behind him at the same time, there was a tiger. This is the spirit of the middle class. His eyes softened. Look who's coming. I can't help laughing for an hour. He raised his hand directly to this one. When the two chefs intersect, in everyone's hands there was a loud explosion. Wait until everyone looks back. I'm just looking forward to taking a few steps back. But the stiff key was beaten to the distance. Banging his back against the wall. Slowly falling on his bleeding arm. The rest of the elders saw this. More and more horror. More serious parts in my heart. They can't ignore the person in front of them. He became paralyzed after regaining some difficult strength. Breathe out loud. What the hell are you? Body strength is so high. This is not a person. The corners of the mouth are a little slimy. Most likely the world has been scattered right now. Casually say, whether he is human or not. It has nothing to do with you. He just finished lifting his feet using the magic of the image. A moment here, most certainly moving. Where you go? Stop having elders with their chests cut out. Eyes widened and slowly fell down. Blink appeared in front of me. He held out his hand and lifted him up. The elders didn't have time to react. Their owner had his life in his hands. This other hour, everyone, including the 2 billion submitted raw. At the same time, you can see his power. In his heart constantly ceases to be more and more afraid the upper hand is lost. He began to give in to the negotiating voice. Sure. Before the old man did not know how to measure his own strength. I have sinned against you. Now please respect the face of Nee and Little Pearl. Give me a life. We will not confront you later. Probably look at him a little. Then look at the two men. He said coldly to this owner. I have reminded you from the beginning. Don't make the wrong decisions. During the lake map, that, if you do, you should accept the consequences. Should have gone. As for their billions. You have betrayed me. I want to talk to you about love. He's paralyzed. You are looking down on me. Or maybe they're too high up. Hear this word. Castration and casting jade in the dark eyes. On the face of unease. Quickly look at the explanation. Our brothers and sisters are also under pressure. Please. The word is not over. Most likely, the world has broken its silence. If you do, there's no need to explain. Hear that, 2 billion disciples kicked out of self-consciousness bowed. He felt unable to negotiate with her. Excess large-scale conduction. Don't he be in a hurry to kill. If the Key family comes together, it is endless with you. You can't stand it either. Most likely, he wants to go forever. Not from contemptuous lips. On the contrary, I am looking forward to it. Why are you endlessly with me? The paralyzed key was humiliated by him, and immediately he bit his lips. Orders all the elders to come up and leave it alone.